Hi guys, Daniel Essary here. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. So throughout the semester we've had many projects, and the one that we are doing right now is a sales shadow, and I have had the honor to spend some time with one of my colleagues and my mentor, Gene Hartman. And so thanks for taking your time to talk with me, Gene.
No problem.
So what exactly is it that you do?
All right, so I trade stocks for a living. For the most part, I'm a value investor. That means I look for stocks that have been hit, usually due to something systemic, as opposed to something the stock has done itself, or the company performing poorly. You know, so an example of that would be retail. You know, most of retail right now is performing poorly because of what's known as the Amazon effect. You know, online retailers and online shopping is taking over. So
Right.
brick and mortar retailers are going out of business, and they're hit harder than they should be. Another example of that would be oil. You know, and OPEC driving the price of oil down through oversupply.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of what I look for is systemic issues, as opposed to, you know, the individual companies themselves just performing poorly.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's really interesting. So how exactly do you choose a stock?
So I do that through a fundamental, technical, and just political climate. There's a lot of different things I use. To choose an individual stock, though, I'd use a screener, and we'll have to go to the chart here for that, which we'll do that.
Okay,
right
I'm going to
now.
pause the video real quick, and we're going to check out some screener.
Okay, so this is a stock screener, and the way it works is you enter the criteria you want, and it just kind of refines that for you and spits out what you want. So here we have energy sector. You know, it lists all the sectors. Picked energy, oil and gas out of, you know, it could be coal, renewable energy, uranium, oil and gas, equipment and services. You know, I just want to go with oil and gas. We'll go down, and because, like I said, I'm a value investor, so right now I just want to look for something that has a low price to book ratio, you know, lower than 1. That'll give us 95 companies. Well, that's a pretty big number to go through, so we'll come down, we'll look at some technicals, and we'll say we want market edge pick upgrades. So that leaves us with 1 stock. So let's view those results. And there we go. That's TA, Travel Centers of America. You know, so I would click it, take a look at that, and then I would analyze it on my charts. Which, most of the time, a normal trading day, I would be running charts that look like this. Now, they're not live at the moment, but these would all be going during a trading day.
So what exactly is a trading day?
It is 8 o'clock to 3 p.m., 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Is that because of the New York Stock Exchange?
Yes, the New York Stock Exchange is open from 9 to 4 o'clock New York time, and we're an hour behind them. So we're open 8 to 3.
Okay.
And during a normal trading day, like I said, I would have all of these up and going, and they would be going beat by beat. To get a little bit more in depth with one, you know, I've picked one here out already because it has a good chart for me to show you kind of what I'm looking at here. So I use a combination of, like I said, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and this is technical analysis. You know, I have volume, MACD, RSI, momentum. I use all of these different indicators to kind of tell me what the stock's going to do. I have several different moving averages here. And then I kind of just read the chart and see what it does. An example of that would be, you know, we'll do this and I'll draw some here. So we have a higher high than previously, you know, and then we come down and we have this low here. Well, when it does come back up here, we have a higher high. That's a good sign to me, higher high than the previous high. When it does come back down, it's in fact a lower low. That's another good sign for us. Well, when it comes back up here, here we go. We have another higher high. It's come back down in a lower low into even another higher high. This is a good looking chart. You know, this indicates that there's momentum behind this and that it's moving forward. That's how I would use the chart. We'll pause it there and go on to something else.
Okay, so Gene, we're gonna wrap this up. And in conclusion, what kind of advice do you have for somebody that's interested in investing?
I would just say, you're not limited to one thing. You don't have to just invest in stocks or bonds or startup companies, but there's ways out there to invest in anything that you're passionate about, anything that you want to get out there and do. There's probably a way to invest in it, through some tool or another.
That's really interesting. Whenever we were asked the questions, in our discussions, I put one of them. I said, can I have a job in there? Just kind of as a joke. It was my number 15, and so I asked Gene the other day. I said, where do I fit into this equation? He said, wherever you want to get in. You're not limited, by one thing. Put your hands in as many pots as you can, and so I've taken that literally. We have several investments that we're looking into. We're starting up some pretty interesting projects, and you guys can stay tuned. You can follow us at Facebook, LinkedIn, which is an excellent resource for networking. I had heard about it, and I spoke with Gene about it, and I asked him, if it's very valuable for him. And now I know that if you want to network with people, especially in a field or an industry, get LinkedIn, and it's like a Facebook for professionals.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time, Gene. I really appreciate it. You've been great through this whole process. Thank you for being my mentor and giving me the guidance that you have. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Take care. Peace.